scared by a bear in the neighborhood. Call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray.
First time I ever met Joe Murray was at
the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We got you for an hour before the puck drops here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Nice little original 6 matchup. You got the Detroit Red Wings and the Boston Bruins at the Garden tonight. Both teams hot. Red Wings hot as well, and looks like Jeremy Swayman back in net tonight. I did want to do some B's later on before the puck drops, of course. We'll take up until 7 o'clock, then the puck drops 7:30 here on the Sports Hub. But we know who the opponent is for the New England Patriots. Joe Mazzulla last night was absolutely embarrassing. I wanted to just touch on that one more time. And the Red Sox lose out on another third baseman today. All that until 7 o'clock. Phone number 617-779-0985. I'm on YouTube. I already see the people in there already. Joe O'Donnell, Matt. What's up, guys? Just go to youtube.com, search 98.5 The Sports Hub, and boom! You'll see the Joe Murray Show. I like to call it the night show, but whatever. You'll see it right there. And our opening take is presented by Super Service Today. Winter's here. Don't get caught in the cold. Super Service Today delivers New England's most complete home heating system, health, and safety check. Catch problems before they catch you. Stay safe, stay warm. Book now at superservicetoday.com. And we know who the opponent is for the Patriots in the divisional round this week. It will be the Houston Texans. And I know that there's a lot of things out there regarding the Texans and their defensive numbers from last night, and they are a good group. They're drafted. They've been developed. The Texans should be in the spot that they're in. They at least were projected to be a really good team this year. They started out 0-3, right? Not many teams can start 0-3, go on a big run, and get into the playoffs. And I think historically 0-3 teams generally struggle getting to the playoffs. But the Texans' defense is going to be the best defense Drake May has faced potentially in his career. And the Texans' defense finished, the numbers probably by now. Second in EPA, second in passing, second in pressure, second in rushing, third in rushing, blah, 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 blah. But how have the Texans faced against offenses ranked in the top 5? These are some of the things I want to know. I have heard about the Texans' defense all day today. And last night, watching that slop, because that's what it was. C.J. Stroud was bad. Good thing he had a running game in that defense, because you know what? I know they played in probably potentially cold weather, but and by the way, the Steelers' defense deserves some credit, too, for what they did last night. But I just historically can't buy into the Houston Texans. I can bring you back to the varsity jackets, the J.J. Watt days, all that stuff. The Houston Texans are a perennial division round loser, and I can't get over it. I'll show respect. I think there's a lot of people on that staff that, hey, Nick Caley 2 years ago, I wanted him to be the offensive coordinator of the Patriots. They didn't hire him over money. And now he's the signal caller and the play caller, for the Houston Texans. There's a lot. Mike Vrabel was with the Texans in the past. Just a lot of crossover between both sides. How about Josh McDaniels and his brother on the other side of it? There's a lot there. And there's a lot of questions, I think, that the Texans still have. And for the Patriots, how will they stop their edge rushers? Danielle Hunter is one of the best in the league. And historically, to me, with all the sacks that he has in his career, is one of the most underrated players in all of football. And the way that the Patriots' offensive line played, you would think, oof, that's a problem. I've been so critical about things this year for the Patriots at the start of the year, whether it was hiring Mike Vrabel, inheriting Josh McDaniels, the win total under, winning the AFC, all those things. And I've been one of the biggest critics of Josh McDaniels all year long. This is the Josh McDaniels game. This is the game where he protects the young tackles. They protect the quarterback. And how many times have you heard in the history of the New England Patriots? And granted, a lot of this was with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and I'm not even doing that. Historically, around this time of year, we saw it last week. We saw the exotic defense that the Chargers never seen before, and they have a coach that's been to a Super Bowl and won a national championship in college football, and a good quarterback. And now this week, the Texans are going to go back-to-back on the road and beat the Patriots? A dome team? In cold conditions? You think that's good? C.J. Stroud has played 3 road playoff games in his career. The temperature in all 3 games was 32 degrees or below a kickoff. In those 3 games, the Texans offense scored how many? 3 versus the Ravens, 12 versus the Chiefs, and 17 versus the Steelers. Road games, dome team, divisional round, perennial losers. Think about that. 32 total points scored in 3 road games in cold temperatures. I just see it happening again. At times this year, I thought the Chargers were a better team than the Texans. And make no mistake about it, the Texans have really come around. I mean, they have a hard-hitting secondary, a great coach, great defensive scheme. I think to beat the Patriots, you need offense. You need to go toe-to-toe and match up with them offensively. And I just don't think that defense. And if it does, I'll tip my cap because I've been wrong all year long anyways regarding the Patriots. But I don't trust the Texans. How many times have they been in this spot historically? And you're going to trust C.J. Stroud in this situation? In this situation. And in the history of the Texans, their first 6 road playoff games. All right, I'll give you the opening line was 1.5. The look ahead, excuse me. It went to 3 when it opened. It's now down to 2.5. I've seen it at 3.5 in some other places. But historically, they've been underdogs in all 6 of those games. And in those games, there were 8-point underdogs in all 6 of them. At least. They went 0-6. 1-4-1 against the spread. They were 3-point underdogs the other night. When it comes to points per game, right? 6 of those postseason games, there's been an average about 23 points scored per game during the first 3 quarters. There's been an average about 22 points scored per game in the fourth quarter. Whatever happens, these are all the games. Whatever happens in these games, there have been slow starts. And the scoring has been late in the game. If that does happen again this week, Patriots and Texans, which quarterback do you think is going to score those points late in the game? And the most consistent one has been Drake May. Drake May was down against the Ravens, came back, brought his team back to a victory. You watched last night's game. It was a dogfight all night. Stroud struggled. The turnovers in the red zone were bad. Bad. I just don't think the Houston Texans can go toe-to-toe offensively. They could have the best defense in the world. Drake May's still going to score points. Now, I said it last week. The Patriots scored 16 points and won the game. If I told you that before the game, you probably thought they lost. The Texans are going to have to score in the 20s. And, oh, by the way, they might be without one of their best receivers, Nico Collins, one of the best in the league. I don't know what the status of Christian Gonzalez is, but it could be a wash there. When I think of the Texans, I think of their pass rush. I think of their great defensive back, a hard-hitting safety, linebackers everywhere. I don't think quarterback play. Can they run the ball? Absolutely, but I'm not worried about that as far as the Patriots go. In a big game, and especially this year with Drake May, MVP candidate, averaging 28 points per game with Josh McDaniels, Stephon Diggs versus a team he played for last year, etc. I cannot see their offense going toe-to-toe with Drake May. And I know May had the jitters last week, and I wanted to get into that on the other side. He had the jitters. These guys always bounce back in that second game. And C.J. Stroud's been there before. In my opinion, he's regressed. He's a regressed player with great receivers, both teams, questionable offensive lines. In a game like this, Nick Caley versus Josh McDaniels. I can't believe I'm saying it, Skaz, but lock it up. Josh McDaniels will score and protect Drake May and outduel the Texans offense this Sunday at Gillette Stadium. I already gave you the prediction. You don't need to wait till Friday. It's a spoiler. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. Call in your thoughts. I'll talk to you guys on YouTube as well. We're here until 7 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub. start against the Texans. He already seen them. He knows what they are. He doesn't see ghosts. But I got to think about that one. His first career start was against the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud. I actually want to look up that box score. Now that I think about it, Texans, Patriots, 2025 box score. Because if I remember right, Stephon Diggs completely roasted Christian Gonzalez in that game. That was one thing that stood out to me. What else happened in that game? I'm just trying to think of some other things. But it was not a good day for the Patriots. But I just find it interesting that a year ago at this time, like this, that was the first game for him. And that touchdown that you heard was to Kayshon Boutte, who had a big play last week, right? Had a big play last week for the New England Patriots. So just looking back to last year, where Drake May is now, right? It's just a complete different roster, different team, etc. And the Texans now, was that their 10th win in a row last night? So they started 0-3. They've won 10 in a row, 3-5 start to the year, 9 consecutive wins to close out the regular season, and then one last night, and it wasn't pretty by any means. I mean, I guess the key to the turnaround has been their defense. They've allowed the fewest total yards and second fewest total points in the NFL this season. We know about Daniel Hunter, Will Anderson. Daniel Hunter, 15 sacks this year. Will Anderson has 12. Their entire defense, 29 takeaways this year. Third in the NFL. But they've underperformed. C.J. Stroud, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Nico Collins, I mentioned, is hurt. Dalton Schultz. Woody Marks has been pretty good. He went over 100 yards last night. But their last matchup, Texans visited Gillette Stadium week 6. Houston won that game 41-21. Drake May went 20 of 33 for 243 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions, and he had a fumble lost. Demario Douglas, 6 catches, 92 yards, and a score. Marcus Jones had an interception and 3 tackles. Bookmark Demario Douglas for this week. I know that, he's somewhat of a gadget guy, but historically, I think you have to look into that. And Marcus Jones might see more of a role if the Patriots don't have Christian Gonzalez this weekend. But in that game last year, Stroud went 20 for 31, 192 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Defensively, the Texans got 4 sacks. 3 were from Will Anderson. 1 from Daniel Hunter. The Patriots and Texans have met in the playoffs twice before, both the Patriots winning at Gillette Stadium. The first matchup, 41-28 in 2012. Then a 34-16 win in 2016. The Texans were the divisional round tomato can. Historically and defensively, they're not that. This year, they're not that. But recency bias shows what they did late in a game against Aaron Rodgers, who literally quit and walked off the field after an interception, which we bet last night. Cash, baby. But I think May's looking at that tape. And it's not going to be pretty when he sees what the old group looks like. But I didn't want to forget that. I keep receipts, and I hope they do too. The Texans defense, 6 number of times the Texans held playoff teams to less than 20 points, 6 times this year. 47 Texans sacks during the regular season. It was tied for 6th. And as far as like PFF, they think they're the second best pass rush in all of football. But my question is, can that Texans defense stop the Patriots who have high explosive rate, tops in the league. They had 69 plays. Nice. This year, over 20 yards, was second in the NFL. As far as running the ball this year, they had 16 plays of 20 yards or more. And last week, they had 5 plays of 20 yards or more versus the Chargers. Can they stop a top 5 defense, offense in the league? Can they stop them? Can that great defense that we all hear about, can they stop the Patriots? And I'm just not buying it at this point. Also, everyone talks about the Patriots' schedule. Guys, listen to this one. Oh, the Patriots' schedule is so easy. Who have they beat this year? And the quarterbacks and blah. Do you know what C.J. Stroud and the Texans' playoff resume is? They've won 3 straight games, guys. Do you know who they were?
Please enlighten me.
Well, last night I gave you the Steelers. Okay. How old is Rodgers? 44. I mean, do we give them credit for that?
42.
42. Okay, well, whatever he is. So I'll give him credit, right? Hall of Famer, blah, 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 blah. How about Justin Herbert last year? Should we credit them for
Do
that?
the Patriots get credit for their win?
They do.
Okay, then I'd give the Texans credit.
Because they got 4 interceptions last year. So that happened. What about in 2023 when they beat Joe Flacco and the Browns at home?
No, you don't get credit for that one, I don't think.
So they're getting all this credit. Who have they beat? So if you're going to use the Patriots schedule, look at C.J. Stroud's and that defense and quarterbacks they've played. Going on the road, back-to-back games against a top 2 offense. Not to mention the Patriots defense looked pretty good last week too. Maybe they're getting disrespected. I'm not buying the Texans. To me, until they prove it, they will forever be the tomato-canned divisional round team. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. And I'd love to do this matchup of both sides, and I can't buy it. And I told you, I'm the guy all year long that didn't think the Patriots could do it. And why is Josh McDaniels here? And, well, it's the receiving core and the line and this, and that. And here I am telling you, I am not buying the Texans. I know they've won 10 in a row and all that, but streaks are made to be broken. Let's talk to Ken in the car. Ken.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Shout out to Joe and Skaz. Always a great show. I just got to give love to the show.
Thanks, bro.
But I just wanted to point out the matchup ahead. What concerns me, Joe, I know you're not concerned about the Houston Texans. What concerns me is that defensive line, the safeties, against, obviously, our offensive line. Because Will Campbell struggled last week. I know it was his first playoff game. But I just wanted your thoughts on our offensive line versus the defensive front. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, well, I think we got to look into the offensive line for the Patriots. I just think this is the week that Josh McDaniels helps them out. I just think this is the week here, and just giving you a couple of notes, regarding that offensive line. What about the Texans' offensive line? As far as getting to C.J. Stroud, I think their line stinks. They were 22nd protecting C.J. Stroud this year. Houston's rankings. Pro Football Focus had their pass block grade at 22. They had their pass block win rate 30th in the NFL this year. 30th. I'd look into that one. And there's a bunch of storylines, but I don't think their offensive line is talked about enough. They didn't prioritize their line. They've moved on from guys. Shaq Mason, they brought in Trent Brown. I think I saw him last night. But, I understand the Patriots have rookie O-linemen on their side, but their line stinks too. I think the Patriots will be able to take advantage of that. Absolutely on that end. What else did I have here? Bill Belichick had a little bit of follow-up on his Let's Go podcast regarding the Patriots and the Chargers. In the second half, Josh really got the offense on track. Bill Belichick complimenting Josh McDaniels. Quote, it's kind of what we talked about last weekend when we previewed the game. I thought the Chargers would have trouble if they had to get to play from behind. They were never really able to get ahead and have control of the game, Belichick said. Once it became a 2-score game and the passes increased, the pressure increased. And that just didn't bode well for the Chargers. He also mentioned that they had a great opportunity earlier in the game, which they did. They didn't hit on the fourth down. They also got the turnover inside the 10-yard line and couldn't capitalize on both of those. They had chances there to put up points, and they didn't. They couldn't allow the Patriots to play from behind. They were never able to do that. Belichick went on to say, once the Patriots played from ahead, Josh McDaniels got the offense on track. They were more consistent moving the ball. So Bill Belichick checking in on the Patriots offense and Josh McDaniels. Let's talk to Andrew. He's in Amherst. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
Good, bud.
Good. I got a 2-part question for you. One food, one football. So I'll give you the food one first. We're going to the game. We were there on Sunday as well, which was great. But this week I'm trying to figure out what I should bring for tailgate food.
Okay.
I'll give you a couple options, or you can just free ball it. You tell me what you want.
What do you got for a take?
Do I bring ribs? I'm going to pre-cook them because it takes a while.
Okay. What about what about your sports take?
Okay, sports take. So the Patriots really haven't been a second-half team all year. They really slowed down in the second half. They showed on Sunday that they made some adjustments, and I think that was Josh, looking for the offense. But honestly, that touchdown to Henry was a great route. He missed Hooper in the first half, but I want to get your take on first half or second half in the Patriots, but also I love your takes on food too.
Appreciate you, man. Josh McDaniels was great, and Drake May was really good in the second half. I think they did have the adjustments. Also, easiest thing to do is on the way to the game, just go to Lambert's. Get your a la carte, calzone, swings, boom. Don't even bring the grill. Leave it at home. Tony is in New York. Hey, Tony.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, buddy.
Well, this might be a far cry, but I'm looking at a Patriots-Bears 40 years later Super Bowl.
40 years later. Oh, Patriots-Bears? Like 80? Okay, yeah, like the 85 Bears now to...
Right.
Well, it would be the battle of the top 3 picks from last year. Both coaches, that one of them I wanted, Ben Johnson.
Right.
You know what it is, Tony? I'm glad you brought that up, and I appreciate the call. The NFL does not want the Houston Texans and the Broncos in the championship game. Is that going to get you excited for the Super Bowl? Then on the other side of it, do they want the Seahawks again? I mean, at least the 49ers, you can give the take about the different quarterbacks, the coach, and playing a game at home. So then you get Rams-Bears, right? They don't want the Texans. I'm telling you that right now. Not a sexy team for the Super Bowl. All right, we'll take a break. I'm Joe Murray. We'll get you the headline here, tell you about a big coaching move that happened today. And we got the Bees on tonight, and I got a thought on Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Patriots will take on the Houston Texans on Sunday at 3 p.m. Still waiting on word from Christian Gonzalez, who was in concussion.
do you want people to know?
Illegal screen.
Would you like to say anything else?
Illegal screen.
Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla, after last night's horrific loss to one of the worst teams in the NBA, the Indiana Pacers, illegal screen, said 6 times. Good thing we didn't have a drinking game going. Because then we'd really just be firing our real thoughts about the Celtics. But that's what was said last night. I watched the game. Okay. Was it an illegal screen? I didn't have a problem with it at the time. Just thought the Celtics gave up another basket. Well, the league came out today, which I didn't know. I actually just saw this. It was, in fact, an illegal screen, the NBA announced today in its last 2-minute report. I hate the 2-minute report. Out. They got to get rid of that thing. I don't want. Now we're validating the coach being right by complaining and not being accountable for blowing the game. The damn 2-minute drill. Now it validates Joe Mazzulla. Now he's validated. His complaining. Jaylen Brown early in the week. I'll let you hear that in a minute. Now he's validated. The little floater with 6.8 seconds remaining by Pascal Siakam. He was late to establish the screening position. Mazzulla protested the no call. Said it was an illegal screen. And now he's validated from the league because the correct call would not have guaranteed the win for Boston. They still would have had to win the game. I'm embarrassed about it. I'm embarrassed that a championship coach who's won a championship, right? We know he's won a championship, has to do that. Phil Jackson would do it. It worked. Spoelstra would do it. Steve Kerr, it worked. And they did it in the playoffs when games mattered, or it always helped out in the next game. A bad Pacers team, you're doing that in the same week where you haven't been to the free throw line, 12 times in the last couple of games? You shot 26% from 3 last night. It's embarrassing to hear that. Now, Jaylen Brown the other night, he said, fine me. Well, he did. $35,000. I believe it's generally $25,000, but they tacked on an extra $10,000. Boom. He has been complaining about it all year long, but I hate to say it, Jaylen Brown. The stars get the call. You want to be a star. You're not getting the call. But it's embarrassing. After a game. Was he right? Sure. It doesn't guarantee you would have won the game. And how ironic is it that Jaylen Brown complains about not getting free throws or calls, but then he can't hit his damn free throws? Can we hear that, Skaz? Jaylen Brown after, by the way, Wemby hit every shot down the stretch. They had a lead in the fourth quarter. But, I mean, I don't know. Remember Derek White went to the basket in a 4-point game, got a foul against Cornette? I know. What did they get to the line? 9 times that day? Whatever it was, to complain after the game about it, you blew the lead. You didn't make your shots. Wemby did. Let's hear Jaylen after the game.
I feel like, honestly, they just got away with a lot. And I'm tired of the inconsistency. I'll accept the fine at this point. I thought it was some bullshit tonight. I think they're a good defensive team, but they ain't that damn good. I thought and I hope somebody can just pull up the clips, because it's the same every time we play a good team. It's like they refuse to make a call, then call touch fouls on the other end. And that's just extremely frustrating, bro. Like, we play hard. We are outplaying our expectations. We compete hard on the defensive end, and they reward the other team with touch fouls, and we go down there and guys are allowed to get away with it. I hope just somebody please pull it up. Every time we play a good team, the inconsistency is crazy. I'll take the fine. Curtis, all them dudes was terrible tonight. I don't care. They can find me whatever they want. It's crazy. Every time we play a good team, it's the same boy. Somebody please pull up the clips. I'm irate how they officiated the game today. if we can't get to the free throw line and teams are allowed to be physical and bump us off our spots and et cetera, then it's hard to win games like that. We shot 4 free throws tonight and lost the game by 4. Not to say that's the whole game, the whole story. We got to be better in spots. I got to be better in spots, but I'm driving to the basket. I'm physical. I don't flop. I don't shy away from contact. I go up strong. I'm athletic, and nothing. I had 0 free throws tonight. The inconsistency is crazy. Give me the fine. I don't know what's going on. I got my conspiracies or whatever, but I don't know what's going on. But it seems like every time we play a good team, it's the same.
Oh, conspiracies now, huh? Is Adam Silver? Adam Silver out to get the Celtics? Is that what it is now? What is this? This is embarrassing. Now, I get it. My entire life of my 43 years of existence, Tommy Heinsohn has been riding the officials forever. So being from here, watching Celtics basketball, complaining about the officials is an art form. It's in our blood. This is embarrassing. I'm sorry. 0 accountability. 0, and I'm getting sick of it. But you know what Missoula would tell me today? He was right. That's what he'd tell me. But yet 0 accountability for not getting to the line. And you still got to make those free throws. Jalen. See, I wish Jalen had in this contract every time he hit a free throw, he'd get something. Because he talked about, we only got to the free throw line 4 times. We lost by 4. You know how many times you've missed 7 free throws in a game and lost? Ugh, I'm being critical about Jaylen Brown, and everyone's going to get mad at me now. By the way, he asked people to do the research against good teams. Well, I got the green teamers right in front of me. Jake and Skaz. Now you guys have a mission. Pull up all the good games. And what was the free throw disparity? I want to know. Disparity? Is that the word I'm looking for? Oh, Jake's here. I'll pot him up there. Sure, why not?
Disparity would be the word.
Disparity. Thank you. Yep. Come on. They're a bunch of babies. I've always defended the Celtics. When I called them front runners, they were. And they beat everybody, and the path was easy, and everyone tapped out. And then last year, they tapped out. But to cry like this after the game, but Joey was right. He was right. You're validating him for doing it. Out. Out on validation and being right.
Zula aspect of this from last night is that shot from Siakam didn't end the game. There was still 6 seconds left on the clock, and he called the timeout. Missoula called the timeout. So the ball got moved onto the other side of the court. There was plenty of time to inbound the ball, run a play, find a shot to tie or win the game right then and there. Instead, what does Joe Missoula draw up? Derek White is the inbounder. He passes it and gets a screen and has to dribble to the top of the three-point line and pulls up from 32 feet out. Does that seem like a play that is efficient or the most efficient play for the Boston Celtics, who, by the way, I know were shorthanded without Jaylen Brown last night, but what have I been talking about to you, Joe, about this with Derek White? Joe Missoula admitted himself. Derek White is best used as a catch-and-shoot three-point specialist. That is what his best attribute is. This season, the Celtics have decided to go away from that. They don't put him in those situations, and his percentage has gone down, and his overall impact has gone down. And that last night was the perfect example. Why is Derek White inbounding the ball, immediately getting it back, dribbling around, then shooting? There should be some off-screen that gets him open to set up a catch-and-shoot three-pointer, which is his best attribute. I don't understand the play call. I don't understand Missoula then complaining about it afterward. It was a Monday night game against
a horrible team,
Pacers, who, by the way, this is the third time you played each other in the last few weeks. They have your number at this point. I don't care if you've beaten them twice. They ran you out of your own building almost. Mr. You had to pull your own starters. This is getting to a point where the Pacers should not be the team doing this, especially without Tyrese Halliburton.
All right. That's Jake, everybody. He's mad. We're all the green teamers. We're in second place, and now they've lost 3 in a row, and now it's the league against them. We'll talk about the Bruins next on 98.5 The Sports.
You're listening to Joe.